Hello everybody and welcome to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel. I'm And More Bus Videos, otherwise known as And More Central, depending on what day of the week and what video you are watching. And welcome to a familiar site with a not so familiar bus. So we're starting in Totnes bus station in the Westcountry version 3.03. And a lot of you will know exactly what's about to come in this video, but it had to be done because delivery's iconic. It was kind of the thing that they launched the bus with, and let's face it, this route was made for a bus like this, where we're going to drive the Little Totnes local services. In this specific video, we're going to do the 1A route, going anti-clockwise around Totnes, because I believe quite recently we did the 1B. I believe we did it in the Renown. So I wanted to do the 1A. In this run, I mean, I could be totally wrong. I've totally forgotten which one's which. All I know is we're doing the 1A this time. I can't remember which one I've done recently, but we'll see how the bus copes with the hills, see how it copes with the route. We'll have a chat about the vehicle a little bit more, about these repaints that do come with it, and I'll also chat to you about why the registration plate on this bus is quite iconic to me. So, we've got the bus set up. Now let's see what we're doing. So, you see route number. Okay, so we need okay, and then we need trip number needs to be 0, 1. Well, that worked a lot easier than I thought it would. Excellent. So it's all worked. I've chosen the dot matrix one for this video because in the last video I went with the LED one. So I thought I would just go with something a little bit different for this one. And we will just ignore the fact that I'm currently looking for the manual because I've just remembered that we need that to log into the ticket machine. So I will get the manual loaded up as we do. We've got that set up. We will insert the mod. There we go. There we go. Do love that. I do keep forgetting about that extra bit that you've got to do, but I do love it. So let's have a look. Using the ticket machine, page 14. Reading a good old manual. Okay, so okay, it is literally enter. Excellent. There we go, and it is bang on 1650. So yeah, for future, it is literally just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So put some daylight running lights on, and we shall crack on. Oh, there we go. Sneezing. I have also paused to try and let everything load in, and which it predominantly has. Oh, van drove into the back of the bus. This is the only issue with doing the anti-clockwise loop, is because you don't pick anybody up in the bus station, you tend to run out of town empty. If it was up to me personally, I think I'd get rid of the bus station here. I'd literally just have it as a coach park, and I'd run everything off the town centre. Because then it means you're not running the 1A out dead. So yeah, it was definitely the 1B we drove in the last video because we turned left. And we did go up the massive hill. I did want to take this up the massive hill, however, I can save the hill climb attempts force mad, and I think driving these circular the other way around is a little bit more of a priority just to get that variety in. Now, I'm not expecting this run to be particularly busy, although I am hoping for a couple of people, like the 2 people waiting here. That fits the bill quite nicely. I do think in the last video, although don't get me wrong, I really did enjoy it, I think I was quite harsh on myself with the first run doing with this bus properly in service and on camera. Was a run on that 314 service, a really narrow 314 local route. So I'm hoping not to bump quite as many curves, but we'll see. So yes, the Reg W3.03 there goes R1B. Straight on the bridge, lovely. So the registration. Some of you may have already clicked on to what exactly the reg was when you tuned onto this video. If you are an avid Optare Solo fan, especially from West Yorkshire, you will know exactly what it is. The WDWX reg denoting vehicles that were new during the Yorkshire Rider Bradford Traveller to then proper First Bus corporate crossover. The WDWXs featured on B70L ALX 400s, B10B Lee Renowns, and a batch of Optare Solos based at Bradford that operated a number of the local services. This specific one, 331, was numbered 50290. It did come with a 4-digit number, I don't know that, so it's, yeah, that's not a question I can answer. But 50290 is the fleet number that I knew. I used to see the bus a lot, used to travel on the bus a lot, and it was one of the native Bradford Optare Solos. So, unfortunately, the Bradford Optare Solos, the original ones did all get transferred out. They were replaced by examples from South Yorkshire that were transferred up. And that was due to the fact that they weren't Disability Discrimination Act compliant, nor did First have any real intention of converting them to be either, because at the time First were beginning to usher out. Are you going to speed up, Merc, or am I going to go in front here? They wanted to usher out quite a lot of minibuses. They were getting rid of quite a lot of minibus routes at the time anyway, locally. So they had no intention of converting them to Disability Discrimination Act compliance. The main thing for them was the side destination blind that as part of the PSVAR requirements at present, it is supposed to have a full side blind with number and destination on. So these just had number, just like this one, and that's why I chose the flip dot. So they just had number, and that's why unfortunately they weren't able to keep them, unfortunately. Some of the buses ended up transferring over. Unfortunately, this one specifically, 50290, ended its life on quite a negative note. That was a shame. So this one ended on quite a negative note, did 50290. It ended up going for a new life in the south that was obviously very short-lived. They never really looked after them and never really wanted them, and as a result, the vehicle ended up, I believe, at a depot that was closed. I think it's something like Plymouth, or something random. It was a depot in the south, and I cannot remember the specific location. But it was used for all the withdrawn and stored vehicles at the time, and as First stopped using it for active operations. And the vehicle was dumped there. It was dumped there on a trailer. All the stuff sprayed over, all the First sprayed over with. This is a lot easier to take around here. All the First stuff sprayed over. See, you couldn't tell it was First part. In fact, it was in full bar delivery. And it sat in the low loader, and unfortunately while it was there, the depot got heavily vandalised, and so did 50290 shortly before it was scrapped. So it was a shame. A few of them did end up in the new livery. I believe it was 502, 91 and 92. Got repainted into Olympia livery shortly before withdrawal. But the majority of them didn't receive the new livery. That was reserved for the transfers, the YLO2s, the YX&Ws that arrived from South Yorkshire.
Jesus, he's driving.
You really can't drive.
Thank you. That is appreciated.
What?
I'm also really glad that I got the branding patch before I started doing these videos, as it just looks a lot better having Optare on the front. I understand why it's got to be like Digibus and things for legal reasons to be able to sell them as a payware product, but the Optare just looks... It looks like it belongs. Yeah, the brakes are also interesting on this. I wasn't expecting the brakes to react like they did. Now, something I wanted to mention in the last video and totally forgot is this compartment. Above where it says Optare, there is the line there, and then a little bit of a bump present there that I'm literally zooming right into. Now that, on the Optare Solos, is actually a compartment. You can take the compartment off, and what drivers used to do, they'll have done it in Bradford, they'll have done it in Stagecoach, Reaver, First Bus, or Go Ahead, all sorts, and they stick little notes in there. Some of them are more interesting than others, but it's a little cool thing. If you ever end up for whatever reason in the cab of an Optare Solo, or you own an Optare Solo or something, yeah, I need to understand how these brakes work. But basically, it's a really cool little feature. And if you have a look under, they'll all have little notes in them. From what the drivers, sometimes it's complaints about how slow the bus is and stuff like that, but it's just something. I'm not going to be favourable with the passengers. But in fairness, they didn't complain that time. Not something you can do in real life is that accidentally put the handbrake on because you thought you already had it on to set off. I mean, you would just feel the handbrake and go, ah. Instead of doing that, that is a very OMSI 2 thing to do.
Hey lad, the wheels on the bus are supposed to go round and round, not fly off.
Hello.
In fairness, I do understand the exciting factor of driving these on locals is the fact that you can just absolutely gun them round corners. Like, don't get me wrong, I imagine as we have driven the Renan recently, they're really fun to drive. However, something like this, just gunning it round the corners and things and flooring it, when they work, when they fly, it is good. And I also do understand the pain of when they are sluggish. And you do get used to the steering after a bit. I mean, something as you can tell I'm still getting used to is getting it close to the curb, because I'm after the last video, I'm quite aware I don't want to scrub the tyres or mount the curb. So I am parking a little bit further away than I normally do. But again, that's the fact that you've got to get used to not having the overhang. Well, this is quite nice, straight through the lights. That is rare. absolutely shot up that hill.
Jeez, Gary, not letting us down on your driving.
It's fine. We made it round the corner. In fairness, I do have a relatively busy bus. So there we go. If I lock it into that gear, that's what you can also do. These are basically gear locks. So I can lock it into that gear. That means it'll stay in that gear throughout. It won't try and go up and down and up and down. That basically means that I can get up that hill a bit smoother. So just something to remember with something like this, an Optare Solo, is when you click that, it locks into the gears. So it's like with that locked into, as soon as I felt the bus drop down a gear, I locked into second. And it stayed there. It didn't try to go up to then ping back down again. That then slows down the bus. It just sustained that speed that is what you want. Hello, passengers. There we go. And now we'll go. Just wanted some nice screenshots of the bus. And I saw that the lighting was good. The gearbox, the Allison box, so good on these. So good. Yes, very much need to be a little bit braver on some of these bus stops, I think. That car got very close.
You really need to learn how to drive.
Yeah, in fairness, the steering on this is that good. I am probably giving quite a lot of people whiplash as we go around the corner. Because this is the thing as well, OMSI is quite used to big buses, so steering's a bit slower. So when you do briskly turn this bus, because it actually responds to your steering, it kind of doesn't know how to react.
What?
Yeah, still got a fair bit to go with the learning curve on this. How early are we? Oh my goodness, we're about 5 minutes early. Okay, we'll pretend I didn't look at that, I think. I've kind of just shot round the route. Then when you get a good bus that is quite fast and nippy and agile like this, it's very easy done. I mean, we even managed to run early on the 314 server. It's fine. It's all under control. I know everybody now wants to get off, but it's all under control. Where's the lighting? The lighting's totally wrong. So what? The idling on this is just spot on. Absolutely spot on. I can open the... If you hold it, you can open and close the emergency door from when you're in the cab. That's cool. Fun fact of the day. There we go, that's a bit better. Look at that, that is...
Hey, driver.
That's what they call in the aeroplane world butter, and that is lovely. Might as well just keep going now. I mean, yeah, we are early, but we've passed most of the bus stops. Yeah, this is a little bit of a curve job onto that to actually get the angle. Even though we are still miles away from the curb, it just means that we tucked in a little bit more in case we had anything behind us. But we didn't, so it was pointless.
What the hell's going on with your driving?
Alright, it's alright. Look, it's like that. No question of it, I just got it in. And there's no risk of mounting the curb, I'm okay. It's the curbs I'm quite worried about because of where the axles are. I will get used to it eventually. It will take some time, but I will get used to it. Well, the lighting's totally opposite side. Gotta love it. Oh, that's a zoom. Not many buses you can do that in. Yeah, this is also another issue with the Solo that is currently a debate with Leeds bus station with the newer Riva Yorkshire Heckman white base Solos, is they can't fit onto these kinds of stands. This one isn't that bad, but there are some station stands that they can't go in like at Leeds bus station. So what's been happening recently is the Riva Yorkshire Solos, when they've had to allocate one on the 229 or the 254 or 255 because of short buses, the run that is operated by an Optare Solo doesn't actually go into the bus station, so the bus itself has to park outside an Eastgate and resume service from one bus stop outside of the bus station because they're not actually allowed to serve the bus station. So nice little fun bit of trivia there. Yeah, I like this bus in OMSI. It is good. As I say, an update to the sounds would be good, but for now, it is good. So yeah, that was the 1A clockwise circular round Totnes. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. I have enjoyed it's been a very quick video because I have just shot around the estate. But it's been a lovely video, really, really nice run. Love the bus as per, and do expect to see a few more videos featuring the Optare Solo because I do like the bus. If you have enjoyed this video, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. If you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, as well as an archive of over 5,000 backseat and engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. With buses, trams, trains and more, there's something on there for everyone, with an additional 21 videos added to the archive each week. There's quite a lot of old school Allison gearboxed Optare solos in the archive, so do go and check those archives out. With different operators, as I say, there are some really good Allison old Merc-engined Optare solos that were videoed on there. Once again though, I would like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one I make. Goodbye for now. Bye!